Welcome to the Afrocentric Woman, where our mission is to inspire Black women to heal core wounds and embrace a luxurious and abundant lifestyle. Thank you for joining me. Let's talk, sis.
Hi, thanks for tuning in to the Afrocentric Woman. I wanted to come on here today and talk about navigating offers for coffee and alcohol. I have another video about alcohol and coffee dates and why I don't think that they're a good idea. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the logistics of getting around those types of date offers. Now, in general, I will say that if a male has in his mind that the first date for him is the coffee shop or a park or a free museum, you would be hard pressed to get him off of that. That's probably just who he is, what he does, and I mean, there's just not anything that is going to veer him away from that. If you're talking about online dating, well, yeah, let's just limit this to online dating. So from an online dating perspective, you have to keep in mind they are offering hundreds of women, if they have the ability to match with them, they're offering hundreds of women coffee. So even at a 10% conversion rate, that's 10 coffee dates. So they could potentially have 1 to 2 coffee dates per week, you see? And so really they have nothing to lose. They're not really focused on any one woman. They're not focused on a type of woman. They're not trying to hone in on what they really want or anything like that. They're just casting a very wide net to get back any stragglers, anybody with a low self-esteem, anybody, who may be a little pick-me-ish or, whatever the case may be, that or hasn't been hip to the game, that will accept this offer. So with that said, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to veer him away from that. So if he offers coffee and you come back and you say, you have a few options. So one thing you could do is offer a quick voice chat. This has worked for me in the past because I have been accused of having a very soothing voice, a very sweet, soothing voice. So a lot of times that will work. So if you can get on a quick voice chat, sometimes he will be so mesmerized with you that he will want to spend more time with you than a coffee. So he will mention something about dinner. So that's one option that you have. If he's like, this is the question that I ask, like, what is your ideal date? If they're like, oh, a park. If it's a park, I just unmatch them. Because if you don't want to spend even $5 on a coffee, you want to meet me in a park, I'll just unmatch you. And that'll be the end of the conversation. I don't need to explain to you, I don't go to a park, who do you think you are to offer me a park? I'm not going to do any of that. I've told you all, I don't know how many times, I do not argue with Dusties. Okay? So I don't. If you offer me the park, I'm just going to unmatch you. If you offer me coffee, I might continue the conversation. If you offer me drinks, I may continue the conversation to see if you're testing me. Sometimes guys will test you just to see, like they're just trying to get a bargain. They want the best they can get for the absolute lowest price. So if you'll take it, they'll offer it. It's kind of like if you go into a car dealership and you have allotted $15,000 to spend on a car, but you start off at $7,000 or $8,000 on the vehicle that you want. You know good and well you have $15,000, but you're not going to come in there with your top offer for what you really want. You're going to try to bargain basement hunt, you know what I mean? And that's what guys do a lot of the time. So a lot of times they'll test you to see if you'll take it. And if you'll take it, then perfect. They get to get your time, your attention. They get to smell your pheromones. You get to stroke their egos and laugh at their corny jokes and all of that for $5. Like, what a deal. What a bargain, right? So yeah, there's that. So if they're testing you and you're like, oh, well, I think that lunch is always, a better option, or even maybe dinner. But I think if you say lunch over dinner, sometimes it's an easier way to kind of transition over to the fact that you're not going to meet them for coffee. And I've had success with that. Some people saying, oh yeah, maybe lunch or brunch would be just fine. And then we can kind of move on and continue conversing, and perhaps even setting up a date. If the guy isn't like, if he doesn't give you any feedback about lunch, and he's like, well, I figure we can just meet at a coffee and just see how it goes. I just want to see how it goes. I just want to see if we have any chemistry. What he's saying is, you're auditioning for me. That's what he's saying. He's saying that I'm not trying to impress you. You need to come and accept this $5 latte and impress me enough to take you out on a proper date. And that is a position in the dating relationship that would be you would be hard pressed to recover from that. I wouldn't recommend you doing that. That's an invitation for you to come impress him enough for him to do more, when it should be the other way around. He should be trying to impress you. He's the man. He should be trying to impress you. And if he's not trying to impress you, it's highly likely that you are not his preference. You are not his type. You are a placeholder, a filler, until he can get a hold of what he really wants. Not in this video, but in another video, I have some screenshots of someone who tried to do that very thing. Tried to offer me, I think meeting up in a park or coffee or something. And then, he was like, well, I don't even date black women. And it's like, okay, you don't date black women, so you want to take me to the park because you want to use me as a filler until you can get what you really want. But I'll show that to you ladies in a different video. In another video I'll go more into depth on that. But yeah, those are some different ways that you can kind of navigate those coffee and drink offers. And then with the drink offers, basically don't do happy hours. I wouldn't do that because the drinks are discounted. He was probably going to happy hour anyway. You always want to be just a little bit inconvenient for a guy, to try to test him to see if he's really interested in you, to see if you're his preference. If you are his preference, if he's truly attracted to you, then if he's like, well, let's meet Wednesday at 7, and you're like, oh, I can't do Wednesday, I can only do Thursday at 8. And he's like, okay, I think I can move some things around and do Thursday. Then you know he really likes you. But if there's a period of time that is just always super convenient for him, it's a place that's on his way home from work anyway, he was going to happy hour anyway, and the drinks are discounted, and you're just so convenient that you just fit into his life, like, boop, you just fit in there, and he doesn't have to work for it. You have no way of knowing if he really is attracted to you, if he really likes you, or if he just thinks that you would be convenient enough to be around, and maybe you'll get drunk enough so that you'll sleep with him. That's what they're always banking on, is that you'll just have too many drinks, get too frisky, and sleep with them at the low price of hardly anything. So keep in mind those things. Be a little bit inconvenient. Don't be too difficult to where it's like a headache, but be just difficult enough, just inconvenient enough to see if he's willing to go the extra mile, to do something extra, to have an opportunity to spend time with you. So with the drink situation, if he offers drinks, you can just say something like, drink sounds really good. You can start talking about cocktails, and then say, well, I really don't drink on an empty stomach. Would you just want to make dinner reservations so that we can be comfortable? And if he's like, well, no, I don't want to do dinner reservations. I just want to see what the chemistry is. I want to see how things go. I would just drop it. I would just drop it. Again, that's an invitation for you to go and impress him, and for a discounted price, because regardless of whether you have dinner or not, your getting dressed routine is going to be the same. right? So, if that were the case, I would probably just unmatch and move on. I wouldn't explain, I wouldn't argue. Time is of the essence, and it would be very important for you to conserve your time and energy, and spend your energy on a man that wants you, as opposed to a man who doesn't really want you that bad, you know. A man who wants you, who's truly attracted to you, and really wants to get to know you, would be happy to take you to dinner, take you to lunch, or take you to do a show, or, you know, an experience. He would be happy to do that, if he can. Sometimes they're spreading themselves too thin because they're, I don't want to say whores, but I'll just say they're spreading themselves too thin. They don't want to focus on a handful of women, 2 or 3 women to court. No, they want to try to date 10, 20 women. So they try to take 10, 20 women for drinks and coffee so that they can maintain all of that. And that's probably not the guy for you, because he's too out there, he's too promiscuous, and he's not going to be able to afford to date you. Some guys have the money, they're just cheap and stingy. And they think they're the prize. So there's a variety of reasons why these lowball offers come through, but it doesn't matter. So don't obsess over why, or don't try to analyze the why, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the result is a lowball offer that you're not going to accept. So it doesn't matter. Getting out and going to dinner and getting dressed up, it's definitely a time commitment on your end. And why not entertain a man who's actually attracted to you? Because there's more promise in that initial stage of the relationship. That relationship has more potential to be beneficial for you when the man is truly attracted to you and willing to go the extra mile to do something for you. And you'll know that from the jump. I think that women sometimes put themselves in a situation where it starts off raggedy, and they think, oh, once he realizes how great I am, he's going to just step it up and just do all these great things, when it doesn't work like that. My godmother has always told me that a man will always give you his best first. And if the best is Starbucks, babes, you have a long way to go down. You know what I mean? Like, you will be hitting rock bottom pretty soon if you start off that low. So aim higher, have your standards. And that doesn't mean, having standards doesn't mean browbeating people with your standards, ladies. Doesn't mean browbeating them with them. Doesn't mean explaining them. I have a video called Why I Don't Recommend That You Explain to Men What You Deserve. Just communicate your preferences and accept things that are acceptable to you, and deny things that are not acceptable to you. It's just that simple. You have a little bit of wiggle room for the guys who are testing you, but for those guys who vehemently are just about coffee and alcohol, there's no room to wiggle, and it just is what it is. And you need to unmatch, unblock, and move on to the next guy. Move on to somebody who is going to be genuinely attracted to you. You don't want to be a space filler. You don't want to be a time filler. You don't want to be the in the meantime chick. You don't want to be someone that he puts in the category of, I'm not going to spend any money on her, but if I keep seeing her enough times, then eventually she'll let me smash. Trust me, you don't want to be in that category. Not if you're into level up dating. If you're into pick Misha dating, then go for it. Dismiss everything I said. If you want to pick Misha date, dismiss everything that I just said and take anything that's offered to you. The park, coffee, his car, the curb, the corner, the grocery store, McDonald's. Do it all, pick Misha. But if you're trying to do level up dating, then you definitely want to heed my advice. If you're trying to find a generous gentleman to invest into your life and provide you with a eventful, wonderful dating experience so that you can enjoy the dating journey, then listen to what I'm telling you, because these are a lot of the things that I share with you are things that I've had to learn the hard way. And then I go off and I listen to other women who have come to the exact same conclusions. So I know, and we didn't conspire to create these conclusions. They've just been what we have experienced. So I know that what I'm telling you will help steer you into the direction of having um, a very fun, adventurous, luxurious dating experience, if that is what you desire. So tell me what you think. Tell me your comments. How do you typically handle coffee date offers, alcohol date offers, free museums and parks? How do you typically handle those? How are you doing with disengaging from arguing with dusties? Tell me how you're doing with that. How are you managing your energy? Are you being triggered by lowball offers? Do they upset you? I so look forward to I look forward to reading your comments down below. All right, peace.
Thank you so much for sharing your time and attention with the Afrocentric Woman. Special gratitude to our subscribers. If you'd like to stay connected with this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you like this content, please hit the like button. If you have any comments or thoughts about the content shared, please drop down into the comment section and let us know. Remember, you are worthy, you are enough, you are unique, and you are lovable. And I appreciate you.